In the annals of military history, there exist events so shrouded in mystery, so obscured by the fog of war, that they remain largely unknown to the general public. One such event is the lesser-known strategy employed by the Allies during World War II, a strategy that would prove to be a turning point in the war, yet remains relegated to the footnotes of history. This is the story of Operation Mincemeat, a plan so daring, so ingenious, that it would deceive even the most seasoned military minds of the Axis powers. To understand the significance of Operation Mincemeat, we must first delve into the context of the war at the time. It's the year 1943, and the Allies are gearing up for a major invasion of Europe. The tide of the war has begun to shift in their favor, with victories in North Africa and the Pacific, but the prospect of invading the heavily fortified shores of Nazi-occupied Europe still poses a daunting challenge. The Allies know that any invasion must be carefully planned and executed, requiring meticulous attention to detail and an element of surprise. It is within this context that the seeds of Operation Mincemeat are sown. The brainchild of the British intelligence services, Operation Mincemeat, is conceived as a means to deceive the Germans about the location and timing of the Allied invasion. The plan is to create a fictitious identity for a British officer, complete with fake documents, letters, and other personal effects, which will then be deliberately allowed to fall into German hands. The officer, Major William Martin, will be made to appear as a high-ranking official with access to sensitive information, and his death will be staged in such a way that his body will wash up on the shores of Spain, where it will be discovered by the authorities. The choice of Spain is crucial, as the country, under the leadership of General Francisco Franco, maintains a policy of neutrality during the war, but is known to be sympathetic to the Axis powers. The Allies are aware that any information discovered by the Spanish will likely be passed on to the Germans, making it the perfect conduit for their deception. The plan is set in motion, and a body, that of a young man who had died from eating rat poison, is obtained from a morgue in London. The body is then dressed in a Royal Marine uniform, and the fake documents and personal effects are carefully planted on the corpse. The documents, which include letters from high-ranking officials, discuss the impending invasion of Europe, but with a twist. They mention Greece and Sardinia as the intended targets, rather than the actual location of the invasion, Sicily. The goal is to convince the Germans that the Allies are planning to invade these areas, thereby diverting their attention and resources away from the real target. The body, now fully prepared, is taken aboard a submarine, the HMS Seraph, which sets sail for the coast of Spain. On April 30, 1943, the HMS Seraph reaches the coast of Spain, and the body of Major Martin is released into the water, where it washes up on the shore near the town of Huelva. The Spanish authorities are alerted, and the body is discovered, along with the fake documents and personal effects. The news of the discovery is quickly passed on to the Germans, who are completely taken in by the deception. The German High Command, convinced that the Allies are planning to invade Greece and Sardinia, begins to shift their military resources to these areas, leaving Sicily relatively undefended. As the Allies prepare for the actual invasion of Sicily, the Germans are still under the illusion that the main attack will come elsewhere. The invasion, codenamed Operation Husky, begins on July 10, 1943, with a massive airborne assault, followed by an amphibious landing. The Germans, caught off guard, are initially unable to respond effectively to the invasion, and the Allies are able to establish a solid foothold on the island. The success of the invasion is in no small part due to the success of Operation Mincemeat, which had convinced the Germans to divert their resources away from the actual target. As the Allies continue to push forward, the Germans are forced to scramble to respond to the invasion, but it's too late. The Allies have gained the upper hand, and the fate of the war in Europe is all but sealed. The success of Operation Mincemeat is a testament to the ingenuity and cunning of the Allied intelligence services, who are able to deceive even the most seasoned military minds of the Axis powers. The operation remains one of the most significant, yet lesser-known, events of the war, and its impact on the outcome of the conflict cannot be overstated. The climax of Operation Mincemeat comes when the Allies finally reveal the truth about the deception to the Germans. It's not until after the war, when the Allies are able to review the German records, that they realize just how completely they had been duped. The Germans had been so convinced by the deception that they had even gone so far as to begin constructing defenses in Greece and Sardinia, in anticipation of the expected invasion. The revelation is a stunning blow to the German military, who are forced to confront the fact that they had been outmaneuvered by the Allies at every turn. In the aftermath of the war, the story of Operation Mincemeat remains largely unknown, relegated to the footnotes of history. It's not until many years later, when the classified documents related to the operation are declassified, that the full extent of the deception becomes clear. The story is a fascinating glimpse into the world of military intelligence, where deception and cunning are used to outmaneuver the enemy. It's a testament to the ingenuity and creativity of the Allied intelligence services, who are able to devise a plan that is at once simple and complex, a plan that would ultimately play a significant role in the outcome of the war. As we look back on the events of World War II, it's clear that Operation Mincemeat was a turning point in the conflict, a moment when the tide of the war began to shift irreversibly in favor of the Allies. The operation is a reminder that, in the world of military strategy, deception and cunning can be just as important as brute force and firepower. It's a lesson that would be learned and relearned by military strategists in the years and decades that follow, a reminder that, in the world of war, nothing is ever as it seems, and that the truth is often hiding in plain sight, waiting to be uncovered. The story of Operation Mincemeat is also a testament to the power of human ingenuity and creativity, a reminder that, even in the darkest of times, there are always those who are willing to think outside the box, to push the boundaries of what is possible, and to challenge the conventional wisdom. It's a story that continues to inspire and fascinate people to this day, a reminder that, even in the most complex and confusing of conflicts, there is always room for creativity, cunning, and deception. As we reflect on the events of World War II, it's clear that Operation Mincemeat was a pivotal moment in the conflict, a moment that would have far-reaching consequences for the outcome of the war. The operation is a powerful reminder that, in the world of military strategy, nothing is ever certain, and that the course of events can be altered by even the smallest of actions. It's a lesson that would be learned and relearned by military strategists in the years and decades that follow, a reminder that, in the world of war, adaptability, creativity, and cunning are just as important as brute force and firepower. In the end, the story of Operation Mincemeat is a testament to the power of human ingenuity and creativity, a reminder that, even in the darkest of times, there are always those who are willing to think outside the box, to push the boundaries of what is possible, and to challenge the conventional wisdom. It's a story that continues to inspire and fascinate people to this day, a reminder that, even in the most complex and confusing of conflicts, there is always room for creativity, cunning, and deception. And it's a story that will continue to be told and retold, a reminder of the enduring power of human creativity and ingenuity, and the impact that it can have on the course of human events.